Orlando Brand Williams, reporter Detroit News. You were in court for those dramatic closing statements. What has happened so far with this jury of 7 men and 5 women?
Well, we had 2 alternates that were released. So we've got 5 women, 7 men, 4 African Americans. They deliberated for 3 hours today. They asked to see the gun. They asked for the screen door. They asked for a tape measure. They asked for notepads and markers. They wanted the plastic clips that held the screen door in place, but that was never admitted into evidence, so they can't have that.
Now, one of the reasons the screen door is so crucial, Mike Brooks, is that the prosecution and the defense have 2 different stories about it. This guy, the defense, the guy who shot Renisha, claims, oh, she damaged my screen door. It wasn't where it was supposed to be. The prosecution says, no, you damaged it when you shot a bullet through that screen door. She didn't do anything to damage your house. Therefore, you can't claim you're defending your property.
Right. But one of the other things, too, the autopsy from the medical examiner said that there were no injuries to her hand. But then the other, the prosecution said, oh, yeah, there was. But whether or not that's the case, right now they have to decide what was his state of mind. Was he really scared for his life at that particular time? I thought the defense did a better job than the prosecution in their closing arguments. And I also thought that the defense did a good job on basically talking about the neighborhood, the problems that he would have there, one of the neighbors being held at gunpoint by 3 men before. So, again, it's going to come down to the jury deciding whether or not he was in fear of his life at that time.
Scared or angry. Now, this guy took the stand in his own defense. And, it's interesting. He said he was absolutely petrified that night. But let's hear what he said during the interrogation tapes where he reveals to cops he was actually mad.
I don't know what's happening. I'm scared.
Have you ever felt this scared in your life?
No.
You're going to find out what was going on. I think everyone said something I'm sure myself. Because this is better than this church.
So, J. Wendell Gordon, which is it? Terrified, petrified, or full of piss and vinegar, as he himself said?
He was piss and vinegar. I mean, all of us have, at one time or another, heard some rapping on our door. Our first inclination is not to pull out a 12-gauge shotgun, or any shotgun for that matter. It could have been the police. You don't know who it is. What you're going to try to do is try to figure out who it is before you take up your arms. Now, although it's 4:30 in the morning, it could be a relative. I mean, there are a myriad of possibilities as to who could have been at his door. So scared wasn't what it was. I believe he actually knew that it was a person who was a stranger to him, that was unfamiliar to him, and that he got his shotgun, and it wasn't loaded by accident. I mean, you just don't sit around with a loaded shotgun by accident, pull the safety off, and pull the trigger. It was loaded on purpose, and he intended to use it. He had the perfect opportunity to do so, and he did it.
Hey, Jane, we live in a different environment. Post 9/11, you've got to be kidding me. Somebody's pounding on your door at 4:30 in the morning, pounding on the side of your windows, pounding on the front of your windows. You're going to invite somebody in for a tea party and figure out who they are?